Bitcoin has been largely moving sideways over the past week, and especially over the last 24 hours, it has vastly underperformed the NASDAQ, which it usually tries to mirror. And in this video, I want to go ahead and go over some of the potential reasons why Bitcoin's growth has been stalled and why it is exactly that we haven't seen a bump up in the price. Hey, how's it going there, guys? I'm Cody, and I'm going to go ahead and break this all down for you guys. But before we get to that, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you appreciate the videos that I put out, and also be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you guys are doing in the market. So first, starting off with our Bitcoin. Bitcoin is barely even up on the week. In fact, it's actually down 0.65%. Ethereum also barely even up here, in this case 0.41%. So Bitcoin and Ethereum have both been moving sideways, and Binance Coin has been largely flat as well. So if we go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin chart TA, I have the hourly up right now, and what we have here is a series of largely sideways moves here for Bitcoin, and especially after trying to go under the support level of about 26,100, it was immediately rejected and shot higher. However, that being said, it's pretty much been sideways for a majority of the week. And I think one of the prime reasons why we've seen this is that this level here, this band of resistance at 26,700 has been incredibly strong resistance, and we haven't seen very strong volume in order to push it higher. Now, that's one of the reasons why. The volume, as you can see here, apart from this one gigantic green candle, has been very muted. And if we go ahead and take a look at the daily, we can see here that it has been very, very low, especially on the buying side. Usually, and previously in May and in March, we had a larger volume candles, and in this last week, we've had very, very small volume candles. So it's been unable to push through that resistance level. Now, as you can also see here, an RSI resistance at 45 on the daily, also preventing Bitcoin from currently breaking out. Now, when you put this all together, I think it's very possible we'll come down here and we'll at least touch this buy zone I've put out here at about 25K. I have not seen anything to sort of invalidate that sort of thesis, in that it seems like Bitcoin is in a pretty dedicated downslope right now. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the funding rate, what we can see here in the funding rate is actually fairly strong activity from the longs. The longs, as you can see here on the green, have been fairly strong, and they've been increasing their position, but mostly have been going sideways. And there's not really much going on here in the derivatives market. Usually the derivatives market and perpetual futures do affect the spot price, but we really haven't seen that show up much beyond this last little bump we've seen here for the Bitcoin price. Now, this is kind of surprising, considering that normally when you see this level of activity, you also see a corresponding jump in the Bitcoin price, but we just have not seen that so far. But what this is telling me right now is that, at least for perpetual futures, Bitcoin traders are betting that Bitcoin is going to wind up going higher. But one of the primary reasons why Bitcoin has not been able to move higher is because of miners. What we have here is the Bitcoin miners reserve, all miners. And if I set this up with the Bitcoin price, you can see the effect that miners have been having on the Bitcoin economy. Now, the miners reserve is a collection of Bitcoin miners' wallets, and as it moves down, that largely indicates that they've been selling. So what we see here right now is that as soon as the miners started selling heavily in about mid-April, we've seen a consistent decrease and decline in the Bitcoin price. So we've seen batches and batches and batches of Bitcoin being sold by these miners starting at April 19th. There's another big one here at May 16th. And then we're on another downslope here at about May 23rd. And so the Bitcoin price has largely been kept under wraps because of these miners that are flooding the market right now with Bitcoins. And the reason why they're doing that right now is because they're trying to maintain profitability. As Bitcoin heads above about 27,000, that generally is a solid point of profitability for miners. If we go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin PWEL multiple, which gives us an idea of miner profitability, we can see here that miner profitability right now is close to where it was back in November of 2021 during the bull market. So miners have been taking advantage of this increased Bitcoin price, and they've been selling as a result, and they've been paying off their bills, or they've been reinvesting it and buying more miners, which is something we've seen lately with the hash price and the hash rate. The hash rate now is still near an all-time high. It's very close here to that high point it made back in May 18th. So it looks like right now that we're having miners sell, and they're reinvesting into buying additional miners or ASICs, and or they're just taking profits from those sales. Now, I also want to go ahead and point out what long-term holders are doing here. So we have the realized cap hodl waves, which gives us an idea of dividing up the various bands of the realized price for Bitcoin. And this can give us an idea of the holders that have held for at least 155 days, also known as long-term holders. What we've seen so far for these guys is that they've actually been increasing their share of the supply. Right now, it's at about, I would say, about 73% of the total Bitcoin supply. This is following a large decrease that we had starting from the earlier end of the year, when it was almost at 80%. And then it came all the way down here to almost about 71, 72%. Now we're starting to see an increase in the number of long-term holders as part of that supply. And as I've always said, when you have your long-term holders increase part of the supply, that's overall good for Bitcoin, because these long-term holders are much less likely to sell. So we're starting to see a bit of a reversal in long-term holder behavior that we saw back in April, and now we're starting to see the holders take up a greater share of the Bitcoin supply. Now from here, I want to go ahead and take a look at the total crypto market cap, and we can see the crypto market cap has gone up just slightly. Altcoins have been up just slightly. However, the biggest story here has been the continued destruction of stablecoins. If we go down here and we take a look at the stablecoin market cap, what we've seen here is a continuous decline in stablecoins. And if we back it out for a year, we can see that ever since June of 2022, that there's been a decreasing number of stablecoins after reaching a peak here at about April or so of 2022. Now we're starting to see a huge decline in the number of stablecoins. Now, either this is because those stablecoins are going to other altcoins, or maybe they're going to Bitcoin. I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that we're seeing this huge decline here over the last month or so, while not having much of an increase in Bitcoin or the crypto market cap, tends to suggest the fact that many of these stable coins are being sold, and then those investors and those traders are taking their money elsewhere. And if you compare that to where the NASDAQ has been over the last month, 6 months, you can see that the NASDAQ has been up dramatically, and the total crypto market cap, however, has been down. So this kind of suggests to me that many of these traders are taking their money out of the crypto market, and they're going and buying tech stocks. Or that would be my interpretation of what is going on with the stablecoins and the total crypto market cap. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and take a look at our Ethereum charts as well. Ethereum, I have multiple supports and multiple resistances marked out here. The blues are supports and the reds are resistances. And what we see here is that we have strong support here at 1773, and it has been unable to go past that strong resistance point of 1834. So we'll have to see if Ethereum can climb above this strong resistance here at 1834. But just like with Bitcoin, you've seen it mostly sideways since about 11th or 12th of May, and it does not look like it wants to break out. I would say, in fact, it looks like it wants to break down even further, and we could actually see it come down here to this region here and actually retest this support band that it made back in March. I think that's probably the most likely outcome for Ethereum, given the fact that it has not been able to break out and it has not had the volume to push it higher. So I think we're going to wind up seeing it come down here into the support channel. Now, for our Binance coin has been largely the same and has even been more underwhelming, I'd say, than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Binance coin has had trouble here getting above resistance at 315. And so what we're starting to see right now is many of these resistance points that Binance coin has hit, has been unable to recover from. However, it's still holding support here at 300. I would expect that 300 will continue to be strong support for Binance coin for the next week or so. And if that level fails, what you're looking at is additional levels here at about 293 and down here at about 285. So that's where I would put the support levels for Binance Coin. So in summary, what we have here is a crypto market that is largely sideways. And the reason why seems to be because these Bitcoin miners are selling right now, and because traders have been taking their money elsewhere. They've been taking it out of the crypto space, and they've been investing in things like tech stocks in the NASDAQ, as the NASDAQ has rallied dramatically over the past week. So that is, in my view, the reason why we have not seen very much Bitcoin activity and the price remains depressed. All right, so if you guys like this content, let me know, like, subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the video, and if you guys think this is helpful, definitely appreciate a like and a subscribe. Follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.